And then Amarin comes in and Feyre goes, "Oh, yeah, here's your amulet, girl.
Yeah.
So thanks so much for when we were at the bone prison. Much
Yeah.
appreciated. So
Uh-huh.
kind of you." And she's like, "There's no magic in it, you dumbass." And she's like, "What?"
They're not nice to her. I don't feel like they're not that nice to her. She's like, you need something to believe in. And you're like, yeah, okay, I get that you're coming from a good place, but the way you guys are is not right. Okay,
No.
you guys are good inside your inner circle goodness, but you just have a shitty way of communicating, guys.
Yeah, it's like that's just the high Fae way. We don't know how to communicate politely. We just sort of we help you, but then come back at you with a burn.
Yeah.
Literary Labyrinth, Labyrinth, Literary Labyrinth, Labyrinth, Literary Labyrinth, Labyrinth, Literary Labyrinth.
Hello and welcome to the Literary Labyrinth podcast. Welcome back, or if you're new here, welcome on in. We are the Literary Labyrinth podcast, and we have been doing quite a few episodes now, right?
Yeah, definitely. This is episode 3 of A Court of Mist and Fury, our second book
That's
in
right.
Literary Labyrinth.
In total, it's technically episode 8, but it is actually the third part of us discussing this book, A Court of Mist and Fury by Sarah J. Maas. If you are interested in following along with us, please do check out our other episodes, and you can catch up and come back to this one. My name is Lila. I am a nerd for books, and I love fantasy, escapism, as well as have unrealistic standards for men.
And my name is Lynda, and I don't get to read it as much as I would hope, so I'm pretty much a slow reader. And yeah, but I do love fantasy, romance, and just contemporary reads, really.
Yes, and we are two sisters, one who reads fast
And one that reads slow.
So if you aren't already following us on social medias, do follow us on TikTok and Instagram. We are there. But nonetheless, we are going to get straight in to this beautiful book. We're now kind of in the third section. And we're reading chapters 24, right, Lynda?
Yeah, 38. Yeah, 24 to 38.
So in our last episode, we left it with basically Cassian, Rhys going with Feyre and Asriel going to Feyre's sister's house.
They're going
to ask. They're going to check out my fam, my human fam, and she's also going to say Feyre's here, going, "Hey sisters, I'm not human anymore. I'm a fairy. I'm a high fae."
Right.
And they're like, "Excuse me." So we get now into chapter 24, where she is inviting Asriel, Cassian, and Rhys into the house. And Nesta, as her beautiful self, is going, "Who dis? No, get out, protect Elaine."
I don't want involved in this. So yeah, the staff have been dismissed by Elaine, whatever her name is. And so now it's okay. They're alone and they can meet the Fae with their big wings. And so the meeting doesn't go as well when Nesta meets them. She's kind of like, I don't want to get involved.
I do love in chapter 24, there's a scene where, Asriel's trying to have a polite conversation, and then he's asking with Elaine, and then he and Cassian are trying to explain the differences between what high fae is and what lesser phase is, and the whole time Nesta is just like, "I don't like you," sneering, constantly sneering. And then also Cassian tells Nesta, "Your sister Feyre here, I mean, she's amazing. She sacrificed so much to help the many lives." And she's like, "I don't care."
And
your point? Yep. Your point? And when you consider the fact that we know as readers what she went through, Nesta's like, "Ouch, Nesta, ouch."
Yeah. She's just like, well, you're in my house. What you want?
Yeah. It's like, I don't care.
I cooked you dinner. Down.
Yeah.
She didn't even cook the dinner. The chef cooked the dinner. She's just like, the dinner.
She does, as we know with Nesta doesn't really do any of that stuff. She gets anybody else to cook, clean, tidy up, give me money so I can buy stuff, and that's about it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we then get to the crunch, which is the letter that they want to write to these queens, and then they start explaining about the mortal queens. They want to have a meeting. Can we please have it in your house? To which Nesta's like, no.
Yeah. No, don't get us involved. Why are you getting us involved? Go away. And they're like, okay. So it's not going as well as they thought. And I think it's just such a big shock to them. Like, why is she like this? Yeah. So they have the dinner. She kicks off at Feyre because Feyre says the food tastes different from when she was a human. And then Nesta's like, you don't like my food? And then, she's like, you could stay here night and we'll sort something out.
Yeah, eventually, begrudgingly, she allows them to stay in the house. And what I do have to say, I do love the sort of banter. There's a moment at the end. It says, now I know where Nesta gets it. Honestly, it's a shame we can't stay longer. If only to see who'll be left standing, her or Cassian. Because Cassian is not taking crap from Nesta. And Nesta's just like,
who are you?
You need to get effed, mate. Okay, I'm running this ship. And he's like, what is your problem? And he's not backing down.
Yeah, he's not backing down. You know, when Tamlin came in, like, you know, with the wolf and was like scary, he could go massively scary on her. She's just like, whatever.
What?
Don't care.
I don't care. No.
Yeah.
And it's so funny because I think Rhys and Feyre are saying, my bet's on Nesta. And she's like, so is mine. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool. The level. Yeah. Then chapter 25 is interesting because then sort of it's on their day off. Was it Feyre convinces that Rhys to help her train and do some training in the woods around the house because she hasn't trained at all, so we don't know what kind of magic she has, and this is the first time she is starting to figure that all out.
Yeah, she won't practice with him. She's like, oh no, you're putting me off. So she sends him back away and she starts practicing with her like magic, making sure she can do something. It's to do with
it. She has to get the candle to light. That's all she has to do. She has to try and light the candle. But you're right, she does go away. And she's struggling to do it.
Yeah, she can't light any sparks. And he's talking to her through the bond and going, trying to flirt with her and putting her off.
I do kind of love that, though.
Oh, yeah. He's got like these notes. So there's like a little piece of paper comes up with a pen and she can write back and stuff.
Oh, yeah. I did like that. The fact that you could write and then it would. It's
like, but when he's finished, it doesn't come back. Like, she doesn't get a chance to write anything.
I know. And he's like, I'm bored. Any sparks yet? And she's just like, no, you Snoop. Don't you have more important things to do?
You're a shameless flirt. And I was like, oh, God. Whatever.
But I do love that he says, I'm watching Cassian and Nesta get into it again over their tea. Something you subjected me to when you kicked me off training. I thought this was our day off. So it's kind of like, what is going on at the house? He wants to get out of there.
He wants to get out. But then she's doing her magic or trying to do her magic. And then she gets this voice behind her going, stop or I'll snap your neck. And it's the Ator. He didn't die. He's back.
The Ator. Mr. Ator with his wings of fear and gruesomeness and
he must
scariness.
Have flew off in the, we don't know what happened.
He had no choice. Amarantha.
The chaos.
So we know, it was only a matter of time, right, before he was going to come back. So now he is here going, don't you dare move, you'll snap your neck. But then out of nowhere, Rhys binds the Ator to a tree because I guess the bond, he knows.
Yeah, so we find out it's a trap. He used her as bait.
Yes, sorry, I totally forgot that bit. Yes.
So he just knew that was happening. He went away and he used her as bait, knowing that would happen.
This is the second time that he's done that now, because let's all not forget about the, what is it called? The lady that was in the cabin with no face.
The Weaver. Yeah, he just goes, go ahead.
Let's not forget about the Weaver. The Weaver.
Test out your skills. And you're like, no, don't do that to someone.
well, at least you're not dead. And you're just like, I was gonna be dead.
Yeah, thanks for the heads up about that. That didn't work. But yeah, now he's like, oh yeah. Well, we didn't know that until the end of the chapter, but yeah, he uses her as bait, and they find out that the Attar wanted to take her to Hybern.
Yeah, but also the other thing, he just goes, whore.
Okay.
But to Rhys, not to Feyre, because, you know,
I know, because he
everyone
obviously is
calls Rhys a
Amaranth's
whore.
Yeah, okay.
Even the guy that's on the side of Amarantha calls Rhys a whore.
Yeah.
There's no alliances here. And he's like, you forget that I'd rather enjoy these things. And you're just like, oh, Rhys.
Yeah.
And yeah, he's trying to extract information.
Yeah.
But so he finds out, as you said, Hybern, the army, it's coming soon. But how large, he says, it's endless. We have allies in every territory waiting. So, oh yeah, he's either lying or he's dead serious about this.
Yeah, and then she finds out that so that she was being used as bait, and he's just like, yeah, but you were safe the entire time. She doesn't take it lightly.
No, and I don't think you would either.
No, I would
especially
like
when
to
this
know
is
that.
it's your first day of training. You're getting the right. Let's all bear in mind she's still suffering from PTSD, and she hasn't got over that, and she hasn't even trained her powers. So she's left Hamlin. She's, you know, just starting this new relationship again with her family, saying, "Hey, I'm a completely different species." So she's like, "Okay, I will try and summon the light." He does this. And you're like, "Oh, Rhys, you little knucklehead, did you do that again?"
No, that's a big red flag. No, I don't think you want to work for this person if they're going to keep doing this to you.
No.
No, it's an unsafe
But
work environment.
he also claims the King of Hybern is ready to invade, and then Azriel arrives and disappears with the Attor, and then Rhys
To
says
torture
that
and
they'll
find out
use
what
it
it's
to
for.
send we're gonna send a message to the King of Hybern through doing this. So
Yeah.
But then obviously Feyre is still going, "Yeah, douchebag. What the hell?"
Yeah, and then she I don't know if she inadvertently does it, but she you know how like Rhys winnows like a few feet away from her, and he could do that, and he's like, you try it, and she wants to do it and she can't do it, and then she does it like a couple of like feet. She does it, she's like time slowed, curled, and I could see the darkness of him turn into smoke and veer, and she manages to get him and punch him down. And I was like, good for you. Yeah, tackle him to the snow.
But she also grows talons as well,
yeah,
which is pretty cool. And it's funny because Rhysand's like split in a grin of wicked delight as I winnowed in front of him and tackled him into the snow. So even he's like, well, hey, I might have got punched in the face, but worth it.
Yeah. Yeah, no, look what I made you to do. And she's like, no, this is not worth it.
I didn't understand. When we get to chapter 27, it's literally 2 pages.
Yeah, it's just she's upset with him.
Okay.
He says, I'm sorry. And he's like, let's go back to Valaris. And she just was, Valaris isn't my home. And you're like, oh, don't push her. She this is it. And she's like, I'm not, you know, if you're going to keep doing this to me, if you're going to keep doing this to me, like, I'm not working for you, so don't push me. So it's kind of like the final. Yeah. And she says she could have sworn there was hurt in his eyes as he spirited us back to my family home. So he knows not to push her.
That's right. Yeah. I mean, I think completely fair. But then following that, we get into the sort of eating breakfast with the sisters and Rhys and that.
Yeah.
And Azriel's gone with the Attar wherever they may be.
He's off torturing the Attar.
But so is Cassian, has now buggered off to assist with that, I assume.
Yeah.
So it's just Rhys, her, and the sisters.
Yeah. And they go to post a letter.
I think he then eventually leaves Feyre at the townhouse in Valaris after the letter's been posted and everything. But
yeah,
Nesta, I do like that the beginning of the chapter starts with Cassian had flown off to join him in a moment's whatever. He'd given Nesta a mocking bow, and she'd given him a vulgar gesture I hadn't realized she knew how to make. What could the gesture be? I'm interested. Is it just the middle finger or is it something?
Yeah. Well, I thought it was just the middle finger, and I was like, okay, bye.
I think it probably is, but in my mind, I'm thinking, perhaps not. Perhaps it's something quite crude.
Maybe.
So the letter to the queens has been sent to say, we would like a conversation. Please meet us at this house, address, blah, blah, blah. And then we start with Feyre is at the townhouse of Valaris.
And they've got to torture the Attar, but Rhys comes back for a bit and he tells her that they've tortured them a bit. And said he's not in Valaris, he's in Hugh City, the Court of Nightmares, being tortured. It took Asriel less than an hour to break him. And yeah, basically...
I'm sorry, but Asriel sounds like a badass.
Yeah.
Like, severely.
I still don't know. It's really hazy about, like, he's got he's the shadow singer, and yeah. I don't really know what that means and what does he do with these shadows. Like, is it like Rhys and infiltrates like their minds, or what is he doing with these? Like,
to me, the way, because he's written at this point very mysterious. We're not quite sure, but what we do know is that Domes does something.
Yeah, but that's real.
A little bit, yeah. Whereas Cassian comes across as like a lad's lad, but very buff, big, brute. Yeah.
So that's why I was wondering what the torture was. I was like, what actually did he do to like break him in like less than an hour? And I was like, okay. But they find out that that a small enemy force had infiltrated the north 2 days ago. So that they've already been over. Yeah. Like, and checked out that they know that Feyre is there in the Court of Nightmares. Or not the Court of Nightmares.
That's interesting. Yeah, information has been leaked.
Yeah.
Yeah, it sounds like a lot of spying is happening right now for Hybern to fish out what's going on before they truly invade. But there is a bit here. It says, she said, what happened with the Asor? And then he says, I'll show you.
Yeah.
And then that's when he goes into his mind of Azrael saying, tell me how you tracked her. And it goes in. And then you get a little bit about what Azrael's doing. Like, Azrael's knife was outbalanced on a kneel. Truth teller, the name stamped in silver, Illyrian. Am I saying Illyrian? Illyrian? Whatever. Then the Attar's eyes shift toward me, playing with hatred I'd become well accustomed to. Good luck trying to keep her, High Lord. And Azrael's like, why? There was an icy rage in Azrael I had never been able to thaw. In the centuries I've known him, he said little about his life, those in his father's keep, locked in darkness. Perhaps the shadow singer gift had come to him then. Perhaps he'd taught himself the language of shadow and wind and stone. His half-brothers hadn't been forthcoming either. I knew because I'd met them and asked them, and had shattered their legs when they'd spat on Azrael instead.
Oh, God.
So there's still mystery there. But we do know he got locked up in darkness, and his brothers don't even want to talk about it. And yeah, so he's clearly a badass, but we don't quite know specifically what's going on there.
There's some key bits as well in that where, when he goes back to the vision of Azrael with the Attar and torturing him, they find out, like, they're basically after Freya and they want her, but they don't really say why. And that also Tamlin has shut down his borders so that you can't fly overhead at night was impossible, and any ears and eyes Azrael once possessed in the court had gone deaf and blind. So we have no idea what's happened to Tamlin, what's going down. Like, since Freya's gone, he's not letting anyone in or out. And you're just like, what the hell? Sneaky biz.
And that could be that he's completely flipped, right?
Yeah, he probably has flipped, honestly.
Because you know what he's like. It's Tam.
Yeah, he's got a short fuse. We know that. And anyway, they get the Attar and they're like, all right, we got what we needed. Break its legs and shed its wings. Dump it off the coast of a Hybern. And yeah, see if it survives.
Bye-bye. See you later. Yeah, it's pretty aggressive, but then the Attar has put them through a lot of crap.
Yeah, he basically, like, beat up Feyre when she was human to a pulp before she even had any of her challenges.
Yep, and she obviously hates the Ator, so she's not really worried about his feelings in this matter. But then a key point in this chapter is that Freya writes to Tamlin, saying
after
she's
hearing all
left
this.
of her own free. I mean, because we were like saying, when's she gonna do this? She hadn't done this yet, and said, "Hey, by the way, I haven't been like kidnapped. I'm fine." So I mean, it's a little bit weird because I think if I had received a letter at this point from Feyre, I would go, "I don't believe you. I think someone's told you to write this." Also, he knows she can't write. So he doesn't know that she's learning to write and read. So he could just be like, well, this is a load of shit. I can't tell this is her writing.
It's a load of shit. And also, if she could write, I still wouldn't believe it. It's a harsh way to go. Like, she should be there in person. I mean, if she didn't want to go and she wanted to leave, she should have just said, look, I don't want to bring Rhys. I'll bring more. Come with me to the Spring Court. We're going to have a meeting. Yeah.
Or
you just
counter proposal, she could perform and say the things to Rhys, and then Rhys could say, this is what she said. This is she wanted, and then share his mind with Tamlin and say, I'm just projecting what happened into your mind.
No, I wouldn't believe him. I'd be like,
yeah,
no.
that's true. Yeah, because
I think she should have just said, hey,
yeah, it's true.
Come on, more. You friendly face. You're not Rhys. You're not going to piss him off. Come with me, but you could beat him up. I'm just going to say, I'm not going. I'm leaving. Sorry, it's not working out.
Bye.
And then bye, and then gone instead of a letter. This was like so like Sex in the City, that Post-it note that went, I can't. And I was like,
soz babes, nah.
She broke up with me on a Post-it. Like, truly, I felt for Tamlin on this. She broke up with him on a Post-it.
I mean, okay, I don't feel for Tamlin because I think after that whole locking her up situation, he's dead in my eyes. But I do think if she wants more, I guess, peace of go away, leave me alone, she kind of needs to do what you said, because he won't. Yeah. He'll go, oh, well, you don't know. You've been manipulated, so.
Yeah, that's why I was like, bring more there who's just going to, she can get you out anyway, and say like, yeah, no, I'm off. Bye.
I guess it starts the conversation of, I'll write a letter to Tamlin saying that she's left of her own free will. She's safe. I'm not coming back. And that's that. And then she just chills out in the townhouse for a bit, bored. And Feyre asks Rhysand to show her Valaris at nighttime.
Oh, yeah.
And so he then goes, I'll make an evening of this for us.
Let's have a dinner party.
With the rest of the inner circle. And then Amren comes in and Feyre goes, oh, here's your amulet, girl.
Oh, yeah.
So thanks so much for when we were at the bone prison. Much appreciated. So kind of you. And she's like, there's no magic in it, you dumbass. And she's like, what?
Like, they're not nice to her. I don't feel like they're not that nice to her. She's like, you need something to believe in. And you're like, yeah, okay, I get that you're coming from a good place, but the way you guys are is not right. Okay, no. You guys are good inside, your inner circle goodness, but you just have a shitty way of communicating, guys.
Yeah, it's like, that's just the high Fae way. We don't know how to communicate politely. We just sort of, we help you, but then come back at you with a burn.
Yeah.
And it's so funny because she's clenching her teeth at Amren going, oh my God. And Amren's like, you're welcome. Bye.
But so they go out, the inner circle go out to like a ristorante around the corner.
Yeah, they're like, oh, theaters, shops, cafes, Valaris at night. What do you do?
Yeah, let's go for a pre-theater dinner. So they're out. I think. But so they have all this amazing food, and she's like, I can't believe anything tastes like this. But then what got me was that Amren sits there, and they bring out just a goblet of blood for her.
Oh like, my God, so you know immediately she's not. Well, I don't. Well, I mean, one could argue maybe, but she's clearly, she doesn't have any fangs or anything from what I know, but we know that she is in a wrong body. She's trapped in it. Don't worry.
Yeah.
That's one thing we do know.
How does she get trapped in this body? What's going on? Yeah.
Yeah. So she's just like, yum, 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 blood for me. But she's quite reserved about it. She doesn't, that's why it's in a goblet hidden, so people don't judge her too much. Like, we're not in Twilight. I mean, there might be sparkle stars in the sky, but they're not sparkly skin.
She's not sparkly. So yeah, they have a lovely dinner. She doesn't want to go clubbing, but
no
Cassian and Asrian, after a day of torturing, go clubbing.
Oh, I mean, understand hey, we just messed this guy up. We need to just forget about something. So they go out partying. It's great. They go clubbing.
Amren just disappears. Who knows where she's
Amren's just like, don't worry about me. I'm just gonna be a weirdo and drink my blood over here.
She's literally gone to the back streets to kill someone. She's like,
I know. She's like, bye. Into the shadows. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Don't worry.
She's killed the owners in the back street with her fags. Yeah, so she's going with that. So Rhys and like Feyre, should we take a walk back to the townhouse then? Fair enough.
That's right. They go back and she's listening to music and the artist quarter. Let's not forget about that.
There's an artist quarter, yeah.
And she's like, oh, painting! Yay!
I actually thought that was like a really lovely, touching thing. Like, that's so lovely. Rhys, like, maximize on this, please. Rhys, like, this is like the moment where she realizes, like,
this is fine for you to step up.
Yeah,
step up and stop trying to use her as bait. Get your shit together.
Yeah, this is your goodness. Where she hears a reduced version of the symphony she heard in the dungeon, and when she was about to shatter and lose herself. And he was the one that played it for her. And
that, I have to say, that did hit me hard. I went, my God, such a sweetie.
And he said, because you were breaking and I couldn't find another way to save you. And she heard all the songs and she hadn't heard it since, but she didn't know. Yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah, no, but then he does ruin it. She's like, thank you for everything you do. And he's like, even after the Weaver and this morning with my trap with the Atatar.
Like, do you know what? He slightly did a Tamlin there. He did a Tamlin. He went, hey, look at the sweet thing. And now I'm ruining it.
Yeah. She's like, thank you. Actually, you are really lovely. And he's like, yeah, but please remember that I did send you in with a Weaver to be killed. And I did use baitfoot this morning.
He's almost trying to push her into saying, hey, remember, I'm not such a great guy. Don't forget. Yeah. And you're sort of, is that because he thinks he doesn't deserve it and there's something going on with Rhys?
There is a front there. Like, he is using it as a front.
Yeah, there's a front.
I'm using humor to get by my emotions because I have PTSD. And you're like, okay, right.
Yeah, I'm not dealing with it either. Yeah.
Okay, great.
I did think it was funny. There's a bit at that she's like reading in bed and listening, and then
he brings the note in the pen.
The magical note. Yeah, little bit of jotting down, which I get is nice because it keeps her actively trying to write, keep learning, keep it going,
practicing.
But he's just and then it's so funny. She's just like, I might be a shameless ferret, but at least I don't have a horrible temper. You should come tend to my wounds from our squabble in the snow. I'm bruised all over, thanks to you. And then she's like, go lick your wounds and leave me. And then he's like, I'd much rather you licked my wounds. And you're like, what?
Yeah, but then he ruins it again, going, let's hope my licking is better than yours. I remember how horrible you were under the mountains. And you're like, oh God, yeah. I remember that too.
Well, he licks her face.
I know why he did it, to like stop her from breaking and, disgust her and stuff, but you're just like, don't bring that up. No one wants to be reminded of Under the Mountain.
No one wants to be reminded of that. And then one of her last notes before they go to bed is, she says to him, oh no, sorry, his note, my apologies. I was under duress. If you want, I'd be more than happy to prove you wrong. I've been told I'm very, very good at licking. And you're like,
no.
What?
I know, now it's like the flirting, and she's all, actually, I'm open to this, and you're like, no, Freya girl, like, no, give it some time. You've just got to have this really bad toxic relationship. Give it some time.
But he's such a douche because she just goes, she clenched her knees together, probably because she's like, that's kind of hot, but no way should I want that. So she goes, good night. And then he goes, try not to moan too loudly when you dream about me. I need my beauty sleep. And you're like, douche, because the thing that she ends up dreaming about is an ator that rips her to shreds. So,
Thanks for that.
No, she does not dream about you, Reese. Stop. But I get it. He's just trying to.
But she slept through the night.
Wind her. Yeah, but not great. She had a nightmare. You're
She
like,
slept.
great.
Oh, that's good.
But she did sleep. So now we're into chapter 30.
Yeah, they're all kind of the inner circle again. Well, Cassian's there, and Asriel says that he's done some digging at the Queen's palaces, the mortal realms, and he's found some sort of barrier around the Queen's palace. So you can't get in either. They've done a whole like Tamlin shut down the Spring Court things.
Asriel's been on like reconnaissance, checking the whole. They've got a barrier. Spring Court's got some shit going down. I can't get my ears and eyes into this section. This is the T, and that's what's happening. But then, so that is a good setup. We know there's something bubbling. There's something bubbling.
Something bubbling.
Something brewing. Like in the cauldron, it's brewing. The cauldron is brewing.
Definitely.
She now is getting trained, Feyre, by Cassian, learning hand-to-hand combat because she's
weak.
She's weak. She's weak and untrained and inexperienced, and she's watching Asriel and Rhysand spar. And classically, who doesn't have a shirt on?
Of course he doesn't. None of them do when they train, I guess.
Listen, if I can't have my shirt off, neither can you. Okay. Sorry.
So they're sparring, and Cassian goes, because it's Cassian, when are we going to talk about how you wrote a letter to Tamlin telling him you'd left for good? And then, and it's just like...
Cassian just does not like Tamlin, like, at all.
Read the room, like, just let it be, let it lie. She's just like, oh no. But she comes back at him and she said, how about when you talk about how you tease and taunt more to hide whatever it is you feel for her? And you're like, ooh, is there something with them too?
Yeah, because there's this sort of weird thing that maybe there's something, or there's a history there, perhaps?
I don't know. There is something with like her Cassian and Asriel, and
Asriel.
Like, what? Who's got the relationship or the past there? I don't really know what's going on.
I think they've both slept with each other, but this is like going back into their early days. I'm not sure who was first or in what capacity. I don't know. But that's definitely that going on. Yeah,
so they have like this banter, which is quite nice. So they're kind of getting on, and they're kind of
and you get to know more about Cassian's personality. I think that's what the ploy is.
He will just speak right out and tell you like, "What the hell did you just do?" That and she's like, "What?" And like you have to confront it. But it's good. I think it's good that she's developing more friendships outside the whole. Remember when it was just Tamlin? It was like her only friend was Lucian. She didn't know anybody else really. Like
and she barely talked to Alice.
A friend.
No.
Yeah, Iantha wasn't a friend, but now she's making her own friendships with other people. It's not just like Rhys. Boo.
Yeah, it's good because at least you start to see what friendship could be. Like these people seem a bit more open
unhinged,
to a friendship,
but nice, good people.
Unhinged. But something you can work with. And I guess after the whole training and montage thing happens, Feyre imagines the painting that she would create. She's imagining painting again.
Oh, she is. She's imagining. She's turning a corner. She's coming back to herself.
But you're right. I did laugh at the bit where Cassian's like, hey, let's talk about that. Your letter.
Yeah, exactly.
And your deal, your relationship. But I do like the fact that she's snapping back because it's almost an indication that Feyre is getting her confidence back. It's coming back. Slowly, but coming back. But then doesn't she have like a sort of sob? She burns out.
Yeah,
about everything.
I think he brings up the whole thing about did he really lock you into like they're having a one-to-one, and then he says something I remember about, he said, did he really lock you up and in the house? And she just gets a bit angry. She's like, he had the nerve to say I was no longer useful. You've given me everything I needed to become myself, to feel safe. And when he got what he wanted, when he got his power back, his lands back, he stopped trying. and he was just wrong, and then she starts sobbing. Cassian's just like, shit, I've hit a nerve again. Like, I think he's always like, let's like start a bad. And like, oh, did he really lock you in? Did you really send that letter? And then he's
it's like she's got PTSD, Cassian.
You pushed it too far, and yeah, she sobs, and he's like, oh, okay, and she burns through the sparring pads, and he just lets her. He's like, okay.
Yeah, he's like, cool, so you can do that. Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, at that point, you do know that she's actually now dealing with it on an emotional level. She's pissed, she's annoyed, because before she really wasn't pissed and angry. She was just sort of going with it. But that's cool that she has all this power. It's really cool. But Rhysand gives her a hug.
Yeah, because she kind of confronts the thing that was in her head all the time as well. He covers her wings because she said that I killed them, and like Cassie goes, I know, and it should have been me, and that was the thing that was her nightmares for all that time after Under the Mountain, and she just never said them out loud. This is the first time she said it out loud.
That's true.
That
she needed to vocalize. Yeah, but it is a sweet moment that Rhys like wraps his wings around her and tells her that she can either let the guilt wreck her or learn to live with it. And then Rhys creates like a peaceful healing darkness like around them. And then the darkness isn't all good, but it's also not all bad. It's like a poetic moment.
Yeah, I've written down here, like,
oh yeah,
he's a green flag.
He's being a green flag.
Yes, Rhys, you did it. Like,
well,
Tamsin did not get to this point. So I was like, yes, he didn't say a quick remark. He just give her the time and a hug and some good positive, like, words. Nothing like, hey, can I lick your face? Like, not the moment.
You want to talk about licking you? You want me to lick you? Shut up, Rhys.
Yeah, exactly.
Read the room.
He finally did it. He finally was like, he said those, like what you just said, he said those poetic words, give her a hug. And I was like, you did it. You became the green flag. Well done.
He did. But he did it without a shirt.
That's okay. We can
give him a pass on that. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll give you a pass on that.
I always just remember, the scene in the movie New Moon, Twilight New Moon, and Bella's like, oh, I cut my head, and he's like, don't worry about it. And then the full shirt just comes off. Like, it's not, he goes, oh, let me rip a piece off. The full shirt comes off, and then goes, dab, 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 dab. Jacob.
Really?
Jacob, do you know what? I was here for it, though, because it was so ridiculous. Anyway, into chapter 31, she's having this beautiful green flag moment.
Yes.
And then we move into 31. This is all about the summer court response, right?
Oh, right. Yes. They get a letter back from the summer court, and that says, yeah, you could come. You could come stay. Come visit.
Okay. Come hang with us. No problem. Yeah. No problem. The other thing that we get a points of in this chapter that she's continued to train with Cassie, and it's been another 4 days and training, and then they get the letter.
Yeah.
And that's when, like you say, the summer court have invited you. Moore lets them know this letter comes through, so get your crap together, everyone. We gotta make sure that we look.
Time hasn't gone that fast. You have to remember, it's probably been like a month or so since she left the court.
Yeah, because if you think about it, they said, if you think about it, they've said 4 days of this training with him and working with Rhys after on trying to summon flame and darkness. So that's 4 days after that, and they've already been to Feyre's sister's house and all that. So you're right, it's probably been a month.
And the Weaver and
a lot has happened, and so I guess now the summer court says, okay, Moore's like, the summer court's inviting you. Of course they did. Feyre, Amren, and I are going tomorrow. And then only the 3 of us, says Cassian. The summer court is full of hot-headed fools and arrogant pricks. He warned, I should join you. And then Amren's like, you'd fit right in.
Yeah. And I think Cassian's like banned. He did something. I don't know what it was, but he did something.
Yeah, it's unclear. Sorry, it's not unclear. He says, I wrecked one building.
What do you mean he wrecked a building?
And Rhys is like, and considering the fact that they are utterly terrified of sweet Amra, she is the wiser choice because they're scared of Amren. So they are thinking, okay, let's take her instead of Cassian.
Yeah, exactly.
Evil.
So
because you
it's
did
not...
destroy. They're pissed at you, Cassian. No,
this is a girls' trip. I'm going with Amren. They've got to find the Book of Breathings.
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's one of the half of it is in Summer Court, and the other half is with the Mortal Queens. Well, so Azriel and Cassian are gonna figure out the other half of the Mortal Queens one, but they're off to steal or get the book from the Summer Court.
The only issue, and quite rightly so, is that Cassian does warn Rhys that by bringing Feyre there, it could start a rift between the Summer Court and the Spring Court.
Yeah,
but Rhys is like, who cares?
Because that's the other thing as well. They're like, oh, well, yeah, she doesn't belong to you. And you're like, no, this girl is her own person. Why must she belong? Like, he might think that we've stolen you from, and you're like, there's such a thing.
Yeah, this is the problem, because they're like, well, you were engaged. You were going to get married. Yeah. And it didn't happen. But that's the problem, is nobody knows how or why it happened. Because they could be, the rightful thinking process is she's been kidnapped.
Yeah.
That's it. That's what I would think. Okay. Everyone thinks that. So the Summer Court are probably going, skin on here.
Exactly. So yeah, 32, they go to the Summer Court. Amren, Rhys,
so it's only
and Freya.
Feyre, Amren, and Rhys. Yeah. Cassian, having failed to sway his High Lord, Azriel still off overlooking his network of spies and investigating the human realm, and more tasked with guarding Valaris. So that's who we've got for the next chapter, is Amren and Rhys and Feyre, which actually I was quite interested in Amren, how she was.
Yeah.
How does that trio work?
Yeah. But yeah, when he winnows them into Summer Court, and it sounds like a bit like Greece. They're like, there's a turquoise sea, with the glaring sun and all these like white buildings, and I was like, Half Moon Bay, and I'm like, oh, okay. Woo! So
the Ferris wheel over there.
Oh, it's called Adriata. Okay, sorry, Adriata. I'm going to say.
Yeah.
Welcome to Adriata. As a tall male, he had rich brown skin, white hair, and eyes of crushing turquoise blue. The Lord of Summer, Tarquin.
Is that Tarquin? Yes, Tarquin.
Yeah.
I do like the name Tarquin. Yeah. And then they also meet Princess Cressida and Prince Varian. Over a meal, Tarquin's talking about the Summer Court would fight against King of Hybern, but they won't enter into another world. They don't want to do that.
No, they're rebuilding the place. Their cities were like...
Yeah, because destroyed. Amarantha messed it up. Yeah.
So their cities were destroyed, so they just want to like rebuild, and he says that, their palace has almost been rebuilt and all that kind of thing. So yeah, I get why they don't want to enter into that.
Yeah, they just want a second to breathe, and I completely understand. I think that's fair. So then after they have a meal, and Tarquin explains about them not wanting to go to war, but obviously has no allegiance to the King of Hybern. And then realizing they are talking about Tamlin going to war to recover her, Feyre says about the Spring Court will not wage war over her personal decisions.
Yeah, the High Lord has no plans to go to war with the Night Court. Yeah. And she left of her own free will, and no one is my master.
Yeah, and they're like, be that as it may, I'm afraid.
The law is the law. You were his bride. Swearing fealty to another High Lord does not change that. So it is a very good thing that he respects your decision. Otherwise, all it would take would be one letter from Tarquin requesting your return, and we would have to obey. So that's really awkward. Like, so if you like join one court, you can never leave it.
Well, that's surely not the case because Lucian was the Autumn Court.
Yeah, and
so it's not
obviously.
true.
Yeah,
Maybe
because
it's just politically not. But you're right. She says, no one's my master. And he's saying, think that all you want, lady. But the law is the law. Yeah.
Yeah, you're just like, no. She doesn't belong to no one. She can do whatever she wants.
Yeah, and no offense, that's probably made her even more angry because she's going, oh, this is not going to be easy. I mean, it was never going to be easy, Feyre. You left Tamlin, who is treating you badly, but also expects you, it still sees you as his fiance. So.
But Tarquin seems like a sweetie. Like, he's trying to reassure her as well, going, Cressida made loads of sacrifices on behalf of our people. Do not take her caution personally. He's trying to help the situations and be nice about it. He seems like a nice High Lord.
He
Tarquin
does seem like a nice. Yeah. I got very good, pleasant vibes from Tarquin. I also think he fancies Feyre.
Yeah, he definitely does. He's just like, hey. And
you're because he's like, what? Oh, little bat of the eyelids. Ha 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 ha.
You're just like, you literally just talked about the whole thing going to war with Tamlin and thing. And you're like, oh, do you want to cut a summer card now? Like, come on.
Are you free? Are you guys like dating or you want to come hang with me? Yeah, Tarquin, one step at a time here. Okay.
No, this is dangerous. Don't even.
But it is kind of funny that Rhysand threatens everybody and says if anyone sends word to Tamlin, it's going to cost you your lives. And you're like, tone it down, man. And then to break the tension, Feyre's like, let's make a joke. And what, I can't remember what her joke is, but.
No wonder immortality never gets dull.
And they're like, yeah, calm your beans, Rhys. Calm it. We're here on a mission. Okay.
Yeah, calm down.
So I guess following that, they stay the night at the summer court very kindly. They have a room allocated. But of course, who has a connecting room?
Of course. They're going, hey, you need to do this. You need to figure out, get a sense of the book. Have you got a feel?
If you got your spidey sense, is it tingling yet? And she's like, no. Okay.
Yeah, the thing that she could feel when she found the ring at the Weavers, she has to do the same thing with the book, but she's not getting any spidey sense. So I don't know. She's just gonna have to walk around a bit.
She's not close by. She's not got her like you say, metal detection is not close. Yes, we need to be closer.
But when she's chatting to like Rhys and they're like kind of going over the plan and stuff, she does bring up going, will he go to war over me? And he just says, I don't know. And she's like, I would go back if it came to it, Rhysand. I'd go back rather than make you fight.
I know, she's like, he does love me, Rhysand. And then Rhysand's like, the issue isn't whether he loved you, it's how much. Too much love can be poison.
Well done, Rhys. Yeah, you're being a good friend and saying,
the facts.
State the facts. No back chat. Very good.
I mean, what he's saying is valid and it's fair, and he's left it like that, and that's okay. So I think Rhys is doing well. He's doing well. If he can keep this
up, you're being a good friend.
Keep this momentum up. You're good. So anyway, after that, Feyre and Tarquin have a little sort of rendezvous.
Yeah.
They dine on the pleasure barge, which is fun.
The pleasure barge sounds like some really tacky, like, strip bar.
It sounds like, one of those clubs that you get an invite to a membership or something.
Pleasure barge.
Come down to the pleasure barge.
Yeah. It just gets really awkward here. I just felt it was just so awkward to read and cringe this bit.
I know, because there's a bit, it's like Tarquin's lips were pursed, but his eyes were considering. would you spare them if war came? And there's all this kind of back chat and all this stuff about her figuring her out and what's her likes and what's she fighting for. But Feyre looks at the city and tries to feel that spidey sense for the book.
It doesn't get anything.
Doesn't happen. And then Tarquin sees similarities between the two fairy realms and reveals that he would like to see a world where lesser fairies have a voice.
Oh, yeah.
So it's interesting. He recognizes the kindness that Feyre's got, and, you know, it would be easy to be his friend or lover. I'm like, Feyre, are you getting that she's got her horn on again. Yeah. She's got her horn on.
It would be very easy to love you and easier to call you my friend. And I was like, this is awkward. Like, you're trying too hard, Freya. You're trying too hard. But like, Tarquin buys it. He's like,
oh, Tarquin's into it.
Same.
He's like, absolutely, girl.
Totally trying to get me. And you're like, no, God. And you're just like,
there's a point in the chapter where Feyre says, and I was lonely. I had been lonely, I realized, for a very, very long time. So she needed some comfort. This is why she got her horn on.
But she's also seen Rhysand is like right next to Cressida, and they're like sort of getting it on and chatting and being all flirty. And
he's flirting with her.
She's just like, well, I've been lonely for a very long time. And I'm like, what's going on? What's going on? Like, are you jealous of Rhysand? I thought you were just having a flirt on with Tarquin. What's the story here? What's going on?
I think because Rhys is the person that got her out, she is slowly going, well, he's my friend and he's my flirty buddy. And I don't know what this is, but he's mine. So can everyone just back off for a minute while I deal with whatever I'm dealing with right now? I think that's the feeling I get from it. But Rhysand's such a flirt, so, you know.
Yeah, because she walks up and she's like, I've got to go. Like, I just want some time on my own. Because she saw them both together, and you're like, but you've never like said that you flirt with him, but you've never said that you wanted that. And also, you shouldn't want that right now, like Freya. Like, it's been it's been a moment.
I think she doesn't want that. I think she's just lonely. She wants something like that, but she's not ready for it. I think maybe if Tarquin was just like up for a one night stand, I bet she would totally do it.
Oh God.
But it's not that simple, because if she gives him a one night stand, it's complicated because he's a High Lord. So no.
Oh yeah, and Tam would bring the war. He'd be like, what? My lady's been violated. Yeah, you're like,
you hold yourself out. What's happening?
Yeah. But then she goes back to her room afterwards, and she's just sitting there, like, moving around. And she goes, I didn't realize I'd been waiting for him until the barge docked at the base of the city island. She'd been waiting for Rhysand to come and, like, talk to her afterwards, and he never did. He was off with Cressida. And you're like...
He's probably trying to get information, if you know Rhys. That's probably what he's doing. But also, I genuinely think she's getting feelings for him. She's not at the romantic stage, but she's at the stage of a confidant, a person she can lean on. That's the thing, because he's the one that is giving her sound advice compared to what she's had before. I mean, look at her sisters. They're not exactly great either. So prior to Tamlin, she didn't really have anybody. This is the first time someone's gone...
No, but remember when she said that about Tamlin, she said it was the first person who'd been kind to me, and then she just like pinned all her hopes on him, and look how that ended up. And so I'm like, no, okay, he has shown you a couple of green flags now. Please don't pin your hopes on Rhysand. Like, no, please don't do that. Come on. Come on, girl.
We shall see. So chapter 34. She's still brooding about Rhys and Cressida going, I think, do you know what I genuinely think at this point? She's more pissed that he's getting sex.
Maybe, yeah. She's like, I think
she's like, I'm annoyed that he's getting it. What the hell? How come I'm not getting it? Yeah, I need to relieve some tension. That's what she's saying. She skips breakfast. She's that pissed.
Oh, yeah, she's that pissed. She skips breakfast. And she goes to, and then she comes down for her meeting with Tarquin, who's going to show her the royal jewels or something. He's going to take her for a private tour.
But it's even a point she says, maybe wrapping his maybe wrapping his wings around me, writing me notes, had been Rhys's way to ensure his weapon didn't break beyond repair. And you're just
there we go. Yes, that's a logical thing to think.
So she is thinking that way, and that was fine, fair enough. We owed each other nothing beyond our promises to work and fight together. So she is rational in her way of thinking now, not tam. You know, where she was on a sort of cloud nine. Look at the starry water, isn't it so beautiful? Ha 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 ha. It's now she's okay. I don't owe him anything, and he doesn't owe me anything. So let's just cut the crap here. Wake up, Feyre. Let's get on with the day.
Exactly.
But she does. She has a bath. She does ignore him though.
Yeah, but before that, she has a bath, doesn't she? And she tests out her water power. I completely forgot about that.
Yeah, she tests out, to see what
she makes. She makes water animals.
She makes water animals. I mean, why not?
Sure,
it's fun. Little Wolfie in the bathtub, you know.
Water butterflies flying through the wall. I mean, it made me think about, you know, when you're like a really little kid and you just make the water go, ooh.
It was essentially that. She's like, magic. That's probably what it is to fairies, right?
Wow, great. And I was like, okay, you made water butterflies. Could you make something a bit more terrifying, Freya?
We've got to start small, Lynda. We've got to start small. Okay. She's getting there. But at least later she gets a little tour of the treasure trove with Tarquin. Because then this should be the point where her spidey sense should start to tickle. You know, is there something in the treasure trove? And then, she shuts Rhys out of her head.
Oh, yeah, she says.
That's what she does.
Him out, and she gives him a smile. Oh, no, a laugh, isn't it?
I kind of love it.
Make him jealous.
Like,
what?
Yeah, or just like, you had your sex. I might get some later, but she probably knows she won't. But Tarquin gives her the necklace, which I think is really sweet. She sees a necklace and she's sort of admiring it, going, wow, this is so unique and interesting. And he's like, you can have it if you want. And you're just like, wow, no, isn't that really expensive? Yeah. And he's like, no, it's okay. Like, nobody will remember it. And you're like, High Lord's giving her a piece of jewelry. He likes Feyre.
I felt a bit awkward about that. I was like, oh, are you sure you want to accept this when you know you're going to steal a book from him? Like, I don't think this is a good idea. But she takes it. And she's like,
no, but she does say, no, I can't accept it. That's too much. And he kind of is quite insistent about it. So,
yeah.
What are you going to do?
And he did say he won't mention to Tamlin that she was there. So, yeah. So she's like, thank you for that, because he doesn't want to start a fight. And he sees that she doesn't want to go back anyway.
But it's cool because when she takes it, he says, it'll suit you in the night court.
Yeah.
He's not even, he knows that this is, and his mouth twists aside that I could use an ally in the north. So he's being strategic as well. He's thinking, I don't want another situation, so maybe we can be friends, and that's okay. And then we get to the stage where
and he says, I think it might be very easy to love you too, Freya. Easier to be your friend. God, she's got him wrapped around her finger. And I feel really bad for him because he seems like a really nice guy, and he's just like, don't do this.
I really know. He seems sweet, and I'm like, you're gonna piss him off as soon as you steal this book. As soon as you steal it.
That's
but
it. Like,
the treasure trove held no spidey sense for the Book of Breezes.
No, there was no spidey senses in there. So she goes back to her room, and who's lounging in there?
Rhys and lounging on her bed as if he owned it. And he's like, flirting and giggling with Tarquin. Did you no good, I take it? And you're just like, Rhys.
Yeah, and she's just like, oh, well, you were all night with Cressida, weren't you? It all comes out. She's like, well,
you're whoring yourself again, you whore.
Yeah. I know, and he's like, oh, You're jealous. No. And I'm just like, oh my God, this is so painstakingly like high school here. No, I'm not jealous.
But I do have to say, when he says it didn't work, she's like, well, you tell me. I got a necklace. And he's like,
Yeah.
doesn't look like a book.
Yeah, I know. He's like, no. He's like, is that what got under your skin? That I shut you out? What got under my skin is that you was it smiled at him, because he never she doesn't smile since she's got from like the spring court, and she did it with him. So she's jealous.
Oh,
so
yeah, but I mean, Tarquin's easy as smile eye. He's a nice guy. The nice guy. Even if
I was
it was
jealous
a ploy.
of that I'm not the sort of person for anyone. The summer court has always been neutral, that she thought he would be easy to fall in love with, and she didn't think that Rhysand would be easy to fall in love with. And then he tells her a little bit about Under the Mountain, and that he's not that kind of person.
That's not. I told you, it's a facade. He's not. After she is horrified that she violated his mind, and Rhysand tells her that sometimes the benefits of doing such things outweigh the costs.
The line where everybody keeps quoting, to the stars who listened, and the dreams, that
are answered. Yes.
They kind of have a truce at the end, that they understand each other.
Yeah, that is quite sweet. It is quite sweet. Yeah, the one thing that is mentioned in this chapter is that Feyre goes into Tarquin's mind and soothes his questioning. That's the thing. So she does that, so there's no alarming suspicions about them, which is a bit risky, if you ask me.
I remember this.
And that's what I meant before by she's horrified that she violated his mind. But then that's why he said sometimes it just outweighs the bad. I don't feel sometimes doing that outweighs the bad.
So yeah, they're still at the summer court for a while. She's trying to walk around Adoriata, trying to get some spidey sense, but she's gotten out until she goes for a walk around, and she finds a bit of land that has been revealed near the tidalway causeway. A small building. I wrote, found it.
Spidey sense has located the book.
Spidey sense.
Booyah.
Yeah, she gets a feeling that maybe that's where it might be.
Yeah, this is where I got confused, because this is the chapter where she goes into Tarquin's mind and sort of soothes his inner questioning, and so he's not alarmed about, suggesting that they take a walk on the mainland. So she finds the building, and then she's quite sad about penetrating his mind and infiltrating it, and then Rhys is like, sometimes you've got to do these things and it outweighs the cost.
Yeah, because she says, what's that little building there? Can we have a tour about it? And he's a bit like, oh, it's just a temple ruin, just mud and seaweed. And then he's kind of a bit like looking at her, and then she has to go into his hide, and she's like, remember that I saved you. Remember, I am kind. She is broken. You can trust her. And he kind of gets around it, and she gets through his shield, and he's like, take her to the mainland tomorrow. That'll keep her from asking about the temple. She saved Corinthians. She is your friend. And he sort of just drops it then. Rhys and Amren are like, okay. Afterwards, in the whole, afterwards, when they finish their meal, going, what you find out? What's this? What you found out? She's like, yeah, I found it. It's in that little building over there. And he's like, okay, we need to come up with a plan of getting inside that temple-y building. That's basically it.
Yes, and then
it ends with care for a stroll with Amren. So they're going to investigate.
Let's go for a stroll. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Now we're in chapter 36.
Yeah.
Right.
So they start the day. They have to all they've come up with a plan. They're going to that temple in the evening, but she has to spend the day with Tarquin, touring around and pretending she knows nothing about where the book is, and she loves blah 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 blah.
Yes, and then they make a plan, don't they, that night Rhys and flies Feyre and Amren to the tidal causeway.
Yes.
At low tide. And
so they can get in.
Yeah, otherwise it's flooded. And so they take to the sky, and and they eventually get to the building, and then Amren and that's when Feyre's like, ding, 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 ding. I sense the book is near. Let
yes,
us go.
The book is here. It has to be under this ground. It's here. And she has to go through the icy muck at the bits of shell and debris, and they have to begin hauling it away.
I have to say, where the hell is this place?
Yeah,
Genuinely.
they have to go inside. It's underneath. And then, they're digging in all this awful stenching mud, and it's cold, and and then they find that the door is sealed.
Yes. But she says, I am Tarquin, I am summer, I am worth, I am sea and sky and planted field.
Yeah, so she tries to be him, and I don't know if it does, but she like transform into Tarquin? Because she says, I felt my own skin shift, felt my bones stretch and change until I was him. And it was a set of male hands now possessed and
it's
pushed
almost like
the
she
door.
Transformed either
into
fully
him,
or
didn't
his
mind.
hand.
I don't know.
But it says, say, until I was him, until the essence of me became what I had tasted in that inner mental shield of his, the sea and the sun and the brine. So I wonder if it just needed that connection of a real Tarquin, and she was able to generate that to open the door.
Yeah.
That's
and so when she does that, it opens up and she's like click grown, and then she goes back into her own skin and they can get through. So they go through like an open stair, but
Amren's face has gone paler than usual. And then she said, I never saw the cauldron, but it must be terrible indeed if even a grain of its power feels like this.
Yeah, so it's an awful power inside the chamber.
Nasty. It's not pleasant.
Yeah, so they go through down, like there's a hall and a chamber beyond that. It was all clear, and then but it feels like it's going to take ages for them to go through this bit, and it's not going to take so long.
It goes on for a while in this chapter. They go down, then she says, hurry up, and then the this place no doubt fills up once the tide comes in, so we better move it. And then there's another door. There's
a long stone hall that ended into a second lead door, and she knows that it's in there because they can feel the power behind it. So they go to the door, and it's obviously another lock.
It's another one. And then eventually she comes towards the book, and she's like, and then it's talking and saying, who are you? What are you? Come closer. Let me smell you. Let me see you.
Yeah. So they go into the room. Yeah, they find it, and it's in a box. It looks like a lead box or something. Isn't it? Yeah. Like, and it says, come closer, you can see it. And then the tide is coming back. Yeah, and she's like, I am Tarquin, I am your High Lord. And then the box kind of comes up, liar.
I know, I have to say the like, liar.
Liar.
But then as soon as she says that, the door slammed shut, and the chapter 36 ends with that, and then the next chapter 37 starts with Amren screaming, "No!" So she's freaking out.
And she's in the chamber. She's trying to hold up. She reaches the door. I don't know how, but she manages to get it open, and like just a little bit for them to get through. And then it's like basically the place is already flooding up. It's just like flooding up with water.
Like that scene, if you've seen it in The Mummy Returns, where she picks up the Scorpion King bracelet, and then suddenly it's like, you will drink from the Nile, and then the Nile comes in, and they're trying to get out through the grate. This is essentially, you're a liar. You've been denied the book. And now we are going to flood you so you die. And that's basically this next chapter, is them struggling to get out.
It sounded awful. And I was like, oh my God, I feel like they're going to drown. And I know they're super fairies.
They're supposed to have superpowers.
I was like, do they have like power to breathe underwater? I don't know.
But I have to say, Amren being able to burst that door open does show us that she is quite powerful, but obviously very weak after she uses it, and her and Feyre are definitely at this point gonna die. But then the door is ripped open by 3 water wraiths. Yay to the water wraiths! Because remember the water wraiths when she was in the spring court?
Yeah, but hold on. They were in the spring court. How are they here? How do they know when something's in danger? This seems a little bit far-fetched here.
Because they told their friends, and they told their friends, and so on, and so on. You know how it goes.
And they're like, oh, that girl that's give you all that stuff, like she's just in there and trying to steal something. All right, watch out for her. And they're like, oh,
but they do say the one in the center says our sister's debt is paid, and then they go, as in we saved your ass. You got us out of a sitch with Tamlin. We got you out of this sitch. It's all good. But I'm just now looking at the map between the spring court and the summer court to just check how.
There's no way, like.
Yeah, but they could be in the water between it. You know, it's totally possible. It's not that far. It's not.
It's really unlikely that they.
It's just this line.
No, I don't believe this. I don't believe
So the water wraiths ain't doing it for you.
It's very unlikely to happen. That all of a sudden the water wraiths, like, what must have what would have been more
she did
believable
good with the water wraiths. They backed her up. Now,
what would have been more believable is if Freya has an untapped power and she managed to blow the top off or something. She's like, I don't know what happened.
I grant you, I will.
And she figured it out.
I do grant you, I will give you that. But what I will say is the wraiths. I mean, are they the exact same wraiths though? They're not, right?
Okay, yeah, but they're the friends of the race. But I don't believe this. It's too far-fetched. And I'm like, all right, that's great that you survived and we can get to the next chapter.
You see,
no,
for me,
that would not happen.
I do hear you, what you mean by it being a bit far-fetched, but at the same time, I'm kind of all right with it. I can kind of get with it because the rest of the book has been so good at this point that this is how I judge a lot of books. There are sometimes these things happen in books and I go, it's been really good so far. I'll let you have a pass. But don't be bringing up more of this ridiculous nonsense later. Otherwise, my passes, I usually give a book 2 passes. If they keep going after the 2 passes of, okay, fine. Okay. We'll go with it. It's fine.
It's got 1 pass, okay? This is the 1 pass.
This is the 1 pass. This is the 1 pass. Yeah, I would agree with you on that. But alas, the ring wraiths came. They saved her ass. They said, your debt's paid, girl. We owe you nothing now. And then they go. And then Feyre and Amren are swimming. And they go, oh, collapse. Can't believe we almost died. And then Rhys goes, hey, what's happening?
Yeah, hey, where the hell were you? He's like,
this is like the Weaver all over again. And I just hope Amra is like, I'm going to kill you.
Yeah, and he's like, you set off every damn alarm. And she's like, we almost freaking drowned.
I know, he's like, you set off everything. I now need to get you out of here. And then across the bay, people dart around the castle looking for them, and Rhys winnows them back to the town of Valerius, going, well, I guess that means the summer court hates our guts now.
Yeah, basically. And but Amren's like in the dark. She's like, why did these waterways come and help me? And she's like, oh yeah, I give them some jewelry.
We go way back, Amren. Yeah,
she's like, only an immortal would do that. Like, a mortal person would do that. What the hell?
Yeah, be thankful, Amren. Be thankful that I did, because if I hadn't, we'd be dead. Okay.
Yeah.
But then
they've got the book though.
They got the book. Well, they got half the book. How many pieces of the book is there?
2.
Right. So they have this bit.
So yeah, she says so she has a wee chat with the book. She's like, hello. And he's like, hello, Lila. Would you read me? No. Okay. Say please. She says, please. Opens. And you're like, all right.
But the other thing to know is that the location of said book is with Amren, where she lives in Valaris. It's not with Rhys and Cassian and everybody. It's with
No, because it's in a different language, isn't it? Like, that maybe she knows.
But I think also if someone was to pass it or come against it, nobody would. Whereas if it's at Amren's, it's out the way. It's not so obvious. But it is funny, like you say, that the book is just going, "What you want, liar? No."
Yeah. What? No. Are you gonna read me? No. Okay. Bye. Say please.
You want to talk? No.
Yeah. And then because she takes it, we see a bit of like Amaran's past, don't we? Because she's not from this world, but she knows the text, and the book is not written from a language from this world.
Yes.
So yeah, it might help her. So after she helps with the cauldron, she might find a way to get back to
her
world, or her form, or wherever she's.
I do have to say, Rhysand like gets a box from Tarquin that contains 3 blood rubies, which means your head.
Oh yeah, he gets a bit pissed off.
And then Rhysand's sad because he's like, I quite like Tarquin, but I don't know if I can salvage this friendship anymore.
Oh yeah, he gets a bit of broodiness, and he's just a bit upset about the whole blood diamond things, that they get 1 each for, and that's it. It's a grave insult for they get a blood ruby. That means there's a price on their head, and they are now hunted. Us will soon be dead. Wow, I know. That's just like, that's quite a harsh,
But if you were Tarquin,
yeah, I'd be pissed off. I'd be like, so you totally betrayed me. Whatever.
Maybe if she just asked for it, he might have understood, because they'd say, there's the Hybern War, the reason we're looking for it is this, da-da-da-da-da, and because they didn't do that, he's probably like, 3 diamonds, you're dead. I mean, I get it. But then Feyre's like, focus on Hybern, that's why we did this. But then later, Rhysand has a nightmare.
Oh, well, no, before that, he says, like, oh, like, he's all upset, and he's just, like, wanting to stay up there with his whiskey or whatever. And she's like, no, he had stayed, and he'd fought for me, so I'm just going to try and get... And she brings up the whole thing about the lingerie thing, going, oh, well, I was going to go shopping for some lingerie.
Why did she bring this up? I don't remember why she brings that up.
So he's all broody, and he's upset because he's like lost a friend with these blood diamonds. And she's like, well, no, he pissed me off, and he tried to change my mood so I wouldn't break. So I'm going to try and change his mood, and I'm going to say, oh, I got my paycheck, I'm going to go to this really fancy lingerie store. I thought you'd want to come, but never mind. And she's like, that's fine, like, don't come with me. And he's trying to be like, what?
She's trying to do what he would do to her.
Yeah, to her.
And shock him into going, you want to come?
I know, but then they see Asriel like come up, and she's like, oh, I'll make myself scarce then. But then she starts getting like a pitch, like a vision of her like going to the store and trying all these like lingerie stuff, and then and then him watching and saying, and then telling the staff to go home, and it's him. He put the vision in her mind. She's just like, prick.
I know. She goes, Rhysand.
And he's like, he tells the staff to go home, and he's like, come here, and she's like right in front of him, and then all of a sudden she's like, and then she figures out it's a whole like memory he's just like in her head. So he's fine. He's fine.
Yeah, exactly. He's fine. But she wakes up and she's just like, I scrambled out onto the bed, lunging for him, feeling what was his arm, then his stomach, then his shoulders. His skin was freezing as I gripped his shoulders and shouted his name. No response. I slid a hand up his neck to his mouth to make sure he was still breathing. And
this is the nightmare.
Yeah, I know. It was just so funny. And then it's like, I went still and I breathed. Rhys, and then, what was it? I threw my power out black to black, soothing his darkness.
Yeah, and but then he flips like, her over and tries to slit her throat.
Yeah.
And you're like, well, he's obviously asleep and he's having a nightmare. And he's like, oh God, he's having a nightmare from his time under the mountain.
Yeah, it was a dream. And then, what was it? Yeah, his breath is jagged and uneven. And he's like, what?
Yeah, so it's kind of like he has the same he's going through the same recovery with like Feyre is, so she doesn't feel so alone, and they're both
trauma bonded.
Trauma bonded.
Yeah.
Trauma bonded. That's true. Yeah. So yeah, that's how it kind of ends. So like afterwards, she comes into his room. He's having a nightmare. She tries to help him through the nightmare, like he's been helping her. And yeah, and then they realize they're just the same.
But it's like the hole in my chest was slowly starting to heal.
Well, good. I'm glad that she's
What are you
found a
rolling
place.
your eyes for?
Well, first of all, I'm like, I'm glad that she's found a place, but please don't. You know she's gonna fall in love with him and be like, or she's gonna have sexy time with him. And I'm like, oh God, just
Yeah,
like
but
give it at least a month, Freya. At least a month. Come on.
she's horny. She wants it now.
Like,
But you know
oh.
what's funny as well is that this nightmare happens, you know, when Feyre wakes up, he pins her down by the neck and the nightmare's going, and then she kisses him on the cheek in sympathy. But when she looks back at him kneeling on the bed, she imagines the scene in a painting. In a painting. People
He's
better
also
be
naked.
painting this.
And
Paint it good, girl.
Doesn't she take a sneaky look down?
Oh, does she?
Yeah, I'm sure
Does
she's like, she realizes he's naked and takes a sneaky look down. And I'm like, dear God, girl, give it at least a month. My traitorous eyes indeed dare to look lower than his chest.
Feyre, you're such a hoe. I love it.
Traitorous eyes.
She's like, I cannot help. Yes, utterly naked. I didn't dare look lower than the tattoo pains of his chest. But then, quite right, as you said, his traitorous eyes indeed did look lower to his chest. But my attention snapped on the twin tattoos on each knee. And said, you were having a nightmare. I wasn't looking at your pee-pee.
Yeah, sure. Traitorous eyes.
Also, why are you naked? Because I'm just Reese. I'm a slut. I'm just whoring myself here, being Reese-Anne. Reese-Anne the whore. I got my name through many times with Amarantha, so I thought I'd just live it up naked. That's what Reese says. Reese, you knucklehead.
Well, at least you're helping her heal.
Yes.
So yeah, that's where we end this part of the book. That there's a lot that's happened. They've got the half of the book. They're going to try and find the next half. And there seems to be some romance blossoming between her and Rhys-Anne, which I don't think is appropriate right now. But, you know, it's going to happen. You know,
yeah, but it's evolving, right? We're not there yet. But it feels like it's going in that direction for sure, of course.
We just need like 8 months later. And then I'm like, okay, good. Okay, good. Right.
Yeah, I think, you know, it's what I do like about this point is Feyre is getting more confident. She's getting more sure of herself. At least we have half of the book now. So they're on their way to accomplishing this task. We're learning more about the other characters. Like Cassian's a bit more of a brute. He's got back and forth with Nesta. I can totally see that ending up being something 100%. Because you just don't put that in a book. You just, but it'll be like, I hate you. Oh no, I've kissed you. I could just see it.
Lover thing.
Yeah, because you know it's romantasy. Okay. Remember the genre you're reading. It's gonna happen. Elaine, not sure about her fiance that hates fairies, so I'm not sure how that's gonna go.
Oh yeah, she's got the iron ring.
That's right. And then there's Asriel, who has the dark mystery, seems to be a scary guy, but he's like the spy. And
I think he's a good guy, but I just don't understand how these shadows work.
I think Asriel sounds as if he has quite a brutal backstory. Because they say about him being locked in darkness.
Yeah, there was his brothers and everything. So that's
gone on there. So that'll be intriguing to learn more about. And Amren drinks blood.
She's a vampire. Yeah, we haven't got actually into most of that.
We learned about another court. The other court was cool. That was really cool.
I felt really bad for Tarquin. He seemed really lovely and sweet and open to being friends, and they just like betrayed him. Although they had to. Yeah, maybe they could have gone about it a different way, but hey, here we are. So I guess, yes, we've left it at chapter 38 where they have
they've come to an understanding that they are trauma bonded and they will get through this together. And she
Can't they just be besties?
What's wrong, Lynda? Why don't you want them to get together?
Because she is literally not closed down the other situation, the other relationship over here is going to blow up in your face. Like, close one.
Yeah, but let's just keep going. Let's see what happens. Feyre deserves to be happy, okay? The girl has had no happiness in her life.
This is not going to lead to happiness here. Like, deal with your emotions, like emotional baggage. Deal with your emotional baggage first before you enter a relationship. Come on.
Okay, so that's us come to the end of our episode. But Lynda, what is the next chapters that we're going to read?
So we're going to enter into chapter 39 and we're going to go all up to part 3, which is the House of Mist, which ends on chapter 51. So yeah, we're going to end that before we go into the House of Mist. So yeah, find out what happens to the King of Hybern. Does he show up? The King of Hybern? Who knows?
I mean, considering what we've read, I dread to know, because I do, what goes on here. Okay, because it's ACOTAR.
The
you
last
read
100
that.
pages of a fantasy book, yeah.
The last 100 pages of a fantasy book is always okay. What? So I just know it.
Yeah.
But it's nice having a refresher of this book, because I think having the additional characters that are part of Rhysand's inner circle, I like all of them. They're all likable, and they all have mystery behind them. So
yeah,
I like them. There's not, whereas in ACOTAR, the first book, I did not like all of them, really. I was not
I liked
fully
Lucian.
liking them. Oh, you like Lucian?
I like Lucian, but I didn't like probably anybody else. There also wasn't that many other people.
Not really. It was Tamlin, Lucian, Alice, and the Suriel, the Boget.
Bring back the Suriel. Yeah, we like the Suriel. He looked like he had so much tea. Like, why can't we bring him back?
Do you know what? It was funny. I was talking to somebody. I think it was one of my friends. We were talking about the book, or perhaps I saw it on a T-shirt or something, and someone went, "Absolutely, the Suriel has the tea. You got to know this stuff.
Yeah,
she's gonna be your best friend. Why wouldn't you be friends with the Suriel? I would."
Yeah, she saved his life. Like, oh yeah, they saved the life. So like, I think they would be besties now. Like the ring race, the water race.
She's making the ring race different genre. Yeah, the water race. The Suriel. She's made Boget. Boget maybe not so much. Boget wants to eat and kill her.
Quite frightening. Don't think they would
the
be
Naga
friends.
also. The Naga's not having it. The Ator wants her dead.
I don't know if the Ator is still alive. Is there more than one Ator?
No, there's only the Ator.
Okay.
Apparently not. No, I think the Ator is on his own, but I don't believe the Ator is dead. The Ator's just very badly injured / kept prisoner, I think, for more information. Because to kill him would be way too easy. The guy deserves to be tortured for a long time. So that's probably what Asriel's been doing.
Yeah, then he dumped him off the side of Hybern, so yeah, we'll see. But yeah, so
that's right. Why did I say that? Yeah, no, because they send it back like he was a message. The king's gonna go, what's up, Ator? What info you got? My freaking wing and my arm. Yeah, but what's the info? Yeah, that's me. Me broken is the information.
Why doesn't the King of Hybern just get a Suriel? Would totally help.
Maybe the King of Hybern does have a Suriel. I don't know, but it would really make sense. Come on, guys, just tell us how this war is gonna go. Go.
Yeah, exactly. Great. So yeah, we've got all that to look forward to. So yeah, better get reading.
Yes. Yeah, are you enjoying the book so far?
Yeah, I am enjoying this book. I mean, apart from the whole water wraith bit, which was very unlikely and not realistic, actually, none of this is realistic. It's all fantasy. But like, in the story,
what you're
like,
saying, girl.
in the story, I'm like, what? They just so happened up. Apart from that, I'm like, yeah, no, I'm enjoying this. I'm liking the characters a lot better than they were in the first one, and I'm enjoying her journey with her magic. It should be more about her magical powers, but yeah, let's see how this goes.
I mean, I think it's crazy. This book completely is the other book. We have just full circled.
This is like a Park and Recs. I feel like, you know how the third season of Park and Recs is just crap. But then you go into the second season, you're just like, oh, wow, this is amazing. This is brilliant writing.
It's that everybody's realized who they are as a character and moved on from it. This piece of crap. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. This is, I'm much more intrigued by this book, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Than the other ones. Yeah, definitely.
For sure. Well, thank you so much for listening to our podcast or watching us. We hope to see you again soon. We'll be back next Tuesday with the next part of A Court of Mist and Fury. Please do make sure to follow us on socials. And also, if you would like to join the Fable Book Club, please do so. It is in the link on our bio, which you can find on our socials. And yeah, I guess we should get reading then.
Yeah, definitely get reading. We're going to catch up, find out what happens. So, yeah, catch you later. See you next week.
All right. Bye.